Hello and happy sunny Tuesday. Isn't it just the best having the sun out? So I am Constance from Mrs. T Weddings and I'm continuing the Lockdown Live series. And today I have my best buddy joining me, who is a wedding florist. So her name is Katrina and she runs Cloud Hill Flowers. So we're going to hear all about Cloud Hill and I'm just going to get her to join us now. So let's get her on and other entertaining, as we haven't seen each other in a very long time, and I'll try and keep it professional and not do all the other catching up that we're due to have. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, dear? Are you well? Oh, we've not got very good reception. Oh dear.
Oh no. Oh dear. Can you hear me okay?
You haven't.
Or am I going to have to move?
Not really.
Oh,
You
no.
might have to move, my love. Sorry.
Right. I'm going to have to come out of my secret room where I've been hiding.
Oh no.
Quiet. Hang on.
So Katrina is getting her house renovated at the moment, so not the best time for us to be doing this.
Hang on. Right, let's try. Right, we're going downstairs. Bear with me. Right.
Okay. Are we going to be in the middle of a building site in a minute?
We hopefully. Well, I was asking when all the drilling was going to happen, and they said we'll do our best. Is that better?
Yeah, it's so much better. You're not pixelated anymore, which is a huge relief.
Fabulous. Right.
Good.
Okay. Well, we'll do our best.
Hello. And how are you? Tell us.
I'm all right, darling. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. So I was just saying to everyone, you run the lovely Cloud Hill Flowers, wedding florist, based in Essex, and also running the house and making the new house happen, and lots of things going on in your life. So we went to university together, known each other for far too long, which shows our age of how long ago went to university, and both ended up in the wedding industry. You were the one that said that I should enter it because you loved it so much.
Well, I mean, it was a suggestion. It was quite a good suggestion.
It was. Worked out rather well. So thank you for that. We'll always owe you. So let's talk about Cloud Hill Flowers. So tell me a little bit about where the concept came from, where the name came from, what what your floristry style is. Tell us a little bit about you.
Right. So Cloud Hill Flowers.
Yeah.
So my maiden name is Shebuk, a Norwegian surname that no one will know what it is unless you are literally that surname, and it's Clouds Hill translated. So when I decided to become a florist, I wanted something personal. I wanted a personal style in everything I did. So it only seemed natural to choose something that is actually me and my name and everything. So yeah, that's why I chose the name, and the logo is a Viking
Oh, wow.
a floral traditional symbol. So nice. Completely unique and used by people that died thousands of years ago.
We've just finished Vikings, actually. I should have been talking to you more frequently throughout our back-to-back episoding of that. My little Viking friend, or not so little, I'm the little one in this group. And tell us a little bit about your style of flowers. So what would you say is your kind of niche?
So I mean, I love bridal flowers. I love the flow, the smell, the colours, everything about a bride. The flowers designed for weddings are just stunning. So I was just drawn to them. I love to be able to work with the flowers. So the movement of them, be able to just give real style to the type of flowers that you're using. So essentially it's quite a relaxed overall style, but just with a beautiful, very bespoke and personalized. So I try and use flowers that, might be the birth flower of the bride or even the groom, using something in their buttonhole that's a bit more personal for them. Or they might love rosemary and they love lamb, or they love whatever they might love. And then you're able to include all these things to have really personalized flowers. So I'm quite relaxed, like just like yourself, like relaxed luxury. is something I love to put my name to. It's something that is fabulous, and it's not too constrained.
Yeah.
You know, everything is really designed for the people involved in that wedding and making it a perfect look.
Perfect. I love that. And what kind of venues do you like working with? Do you have any favorite styles of venues, or any you're based in Essex, but you cover most of the south, if need be.
So there's the thing with, again, is you've got, I mean, Essex particularly is absolutely, we've got so many beautiful venues. You've got barns, you've got beautiful stately homes, you've got amazing outdoor spaces, you've got forests, you've got everything. So I don't have a preference, because I think they're all beautiful and completely their own way. So really depends on the couple. A couple will really choose the right venue for them, and
but you like working within all of these kind of options.
I love designing flowers for the people in mind. So if they are getting married in this gorgeous rustic barn with these beautiful beams, the space of the rafters, then we create flowers that fit and match that setting. So there's nothing, I mean, there's some gorgeous stately homes, but you know, a barn is just fab. Love
brilliant. And so would you say that you're mainly focused on Essex, or would you cover a bit further? I know we're doing some weddings in London together and in Bedfordshire, but I don't know whether, you know, me twisting your arm makes them happen. You know,
you twisting my arm is great. I don't mind that at all.
So how far afield do you kind of like to go for weddings?
There's no limit. There's no limit. Again, if the right situation, it was down south, or it was on the south coast, or it was we'd make it work. It all depends on what, obviously, the type of wedding. You know, we can source flowers, we can make, I've got a fantastic team of freelancers, so no matter where we go, I'd be able to put a team on the ground. I mean, I did one in Thailand.
I know, that was unbelievable. And you were that was quite early days as well, wasn't it, in the business?
I know, it was like 45-degree heat, and the flowers were burning, like burning. I was making them, and the petals were going black at the edges and just shriveling as they were saying their vows. They were going
speedy vows. Come on, pick up the pace here now, priest.
Oh, it was so hot. It was so hot.
Yeah. So, and also you've done Spain. You've done quite a few international weddings, actually, haven't you? But the pain involved in sourcing the flowers locally. not what we want to sell you as.
My
international wedding florist.
My tie's not great.
So what made you get into floristry? Because you had a very different career beforehand.
Well, I did, I mean, like yourself, like events, being very organised, lots of everything.
You kind of had a corporate life, didn't you? Like me.
Planning, everything that was organising other people and other things that needed to happen. But I think, like a lot of people that somehow is drawn to the wedding industry, getting married myself just opened my eyes to just what a wonderful thing it is, and how wonderful it is to make people feel and really get involved and just be part of someone's experience. So as soon as I remember my darling husband to be, who I adore, was very budget minded for our wedding.
He works in finance. It's his job.
Don't
give him a hard time on that one.
He loves the spreadsheet.
He does.
So spreadsheet was seeing, you know, a big kind of gap on the flowers, and he was like, right, let's see what we can do on this field. So I went and did a course. I thought, right, I'll go and see what it's about. And did it. Realised it actually isn't that straightforward. And by the end of the course, Mark was like, right, you ready? Are you ready to do it? I was like, not gonna happen.
Put 4 figures in that field, darling.
I was like, right, I'm getting someone else to do it. I don't want, you know, the amount of work involved. And the stress. I wanted to be the bride that was enjoying their day. You know, that's why you hire people like you. so that you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I definitely was like, this is not something I need to worry
That would
about.
have been the worst day ever if you were doing your own flowers.
Oh my God.
When your son already had chicken pox, and then imagine having to do your own flowers.
He was covered in boils, and I did not want to start. No.
Oh, that could have been a disaster. So thank goodness you didn't do your own wedding flowers. But then after that, you went on your sitting guilds and then built the business from there.
Oh, I was so inspired by the lady who did actually do the flowers in the end. She was just an inspiring lady. So I caught the bug. I, on a honeymoon, didn't stop talking about flowers.
Lucky old Mark.
Yeah, we went.
And you had the longest honeymoon in the world. It was like 3 months.
3 months in the car. He couldn't get away. So
I wonder he lost his wedding ring. He's like, I'm done with this.
So literally, by the time we got back, he was like, just go and enroll. Go.
Yeah.
So I did my city and guilds, got my distinction, and set the business up, and been running. Yeah, I mean, it's been full steam ahead ever since. Because
with the exception of a pandemic.
Well, there was a slight.
But you still managed to do quite a few weddings last year, didn't you? You had quite a few micro weddings that went ahead.
Yeah, did a few micro, and that's the thing, is we tried to manage it as best we could. Be flexible. You have to be flexible.
Exactly.
And everyone's learnt to be, and you're not only, it's awful for the couples involved having to replan over and over again, but I mean, even those couples they've also probably learnt things along the way too, which then they've made decisions that are much more personal. And it's there's lots, obviously there are lots of negatives, but the positives are definitely there. And the people
I think everyone that's had a micro wedding would never change it. They're like, it was bloody brilliant. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
So I think, but we're almost at the point of having non-restricted weddings. We're so close now. It's a matter of months.
Tell me about it. I mean, literally, I've got my bride on. she's rescheduled 4 times. And she's getting married on the 21st of June.
Right. Wow.
To the wire. And
she's a gambler. She's a gambler.
We've got to, have a relationship with her. We've been planning her flowers for 2 years, essentially. So I said to her, do you have a backup just in case? And she said, well, if that's the case, we'll get married in 2024 or whatever.
Oh, wow. Another 2 years of each other.
Oh dear. So I mean, from what I'm hearing this morning, Boris has said that there is hope that the roadmap's going to stay where it is.
Exactly.
If that's the case, she's good to go for the 21st. And then it is literally the craziest flower summer ever. Yeah,
you've got so much on, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's every 3 days till November.
we were trying to get something socially in the diary between us, and it was like no wedding between us. Every date is taken, and it's like, well, maybe I'll see you in September. Well, actually, maybe it'll be the end of November, December. Well, actually, maybe we just do a live. It's the only time we're ever going to see each other. I'll never see my godchildren again.
It will be fine. It will be fine.
It's going to be manic.
There. But it's going to be so nice for all those people that have just been wanting to just get married, have their day, and weather allowing, this summer is just going to be epic for those couples. It'll be amazing.
I mean, like I've been saying with my couples, the first time that people go to these weddings will be the first time that people get their hugs. I mean, how emotional is that? That first hug between, you and your best friend, or you and your parents, or whatever it is. These weddings are going to be phenomenal when people can actually see each other unrestricted. It's just going to be incredible.
This is just missing people, aren't they? They just want to be around people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me and my little office, we're having so much fun together.
I love it. I love watching you in your little office. I mean, you had a tour of my house.
Always here, literally always.
Well, I'm not here where I was supposed to be, so I'm not sure what you can see behind me. But
no, you're all right. We can kind of see you and the kids, but that's fine. That's nice. We've got a nice orchid. So tell me about, okay, so one of the things about you is that a lot of people are drawn to your floristry style because of your bouquets.
Yes.
And they are absolutely stunning. I've seen you at work. I've seen you hand them over to brides. I've seen brides walk down the aisle with them. You know, they're absolutely beautiful, your bouquets. What is it that makes them distinctive? What is it about the Cloud Hill bouquet that's so special?
Ooh, what a cry. I was wondering if you'd ask me about that. And I was like, right, I should think about this. And
Yeah.
I don't
And you
know.
didn't do any homework.
No, I did. I know, but you know, but the thing is because it's all from the heart. It's all dependent upon. So what I do love is having a story and having texture and having contrasting color. You know, it doesn't have to be. If you have an ivory and sage green bouquet that's elegant and you know, simple in color tones, then that's fabulous. But
you're still going to have the texture, aren't you? You can't get away from texture with flowers. Like, no. It's an organic material. That's what happens.
I love the textural contrast that you can create with foliage, like different types of foliage. There's so many different types of eucalyptus. You can just mix it up, but just something that you look at that is more than three-dimensional, something that's really that people are so drawn to because they're seeing something different every time they look at it. And then, you know, the flowers, we've got a fantastic wholesaler and the flowers are amazing. So every time, you know, even after the wedding, I speak to the brides and we, you know, just touch base and kind of say goodbye, essentially. They're like, my flowers are still going, like for weeks and weeks. Aww. So it's just there is a lot of love in them.
They're made with love.
Yeah, really. And they kind of set the tone for all the other flowers. All the other flowers are not the same. It's still the main event, but it sets the tone, and then you just have this kind of flowing flower scenescape that just it makes me happy.
Yeah, that's what we want. But you also really, I think something that's also quite distinctive about you is that you really get to know your couples. So you really take the time, you know, you invest the time in getting to know them. You research their venue. You look at, you know, you're looking at what's their kind of style, what's their ethos. And, you know, there's a whole story behind each job that you're working on, each wedding you're working on. And to you, it's not just, oh, here we go, here's another bouquet. It's, oh, this is, you know, X and Y's bouquet, and I know that they really like this and they're really into that. You know, there's a whole story behind it, and I think that really feeds into that element of being made with love, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think you can create something personal without really engaging with someone to really understand, just like what you do, really getting to know who are they, where did they meet, how did they get to where they are, you know, and the number of times it comes up that I proposed in a garden and we were surrounded by these flowers, is there any way we could have these flowers, and it's just, I mean, one was a bit tricky, which was a Canadian garden, and I was like, well, I mean, I'll try. Do my best.
How did it work out?
Well, it hasn't happened yet. Pandemic.
Oh, right.
So I'm still working on it.
You must update us. I look forward to hearing about that one.
It will be fun. But it's just, it's you can't create without really spending the time. You just don't have something reflective. And it's not just, you know, the bride. There's so many brides that, you know, lead in the planning with the flower side, with their Pinterest boards and everything. But the amount of input that I do get from grooms saying that, you know, I wasn't going to say this, but
exactly.
Is this possible? And it's really nice to engage with both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really then becomes, because a lot of the time I'll run into the groom and you know, give them their buttonholes, and it's just nice. It's lovely to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Little shout out to all the people that are watching. We've got Jan over in Marbella and Jim on the M11. Thanks for joining us today with your bouquets and with your wedding flowers. I mean, you know, as you said, you've got the Canadian one coming up. But if people want something very specific, do you enjoy that, or do you prefer kind of being given a colour palette that they like and then running free free, or do you prefer it when they come to you and you say, right, I really want, you know, I know we did a wedding together which was Australian flowers, you know, and you know, I really want to make sure that it's really representative of whatever it is. What's your preference?
I don't think I have one.
Well, that's good.
I don't think I have one. If someone says this is something that I absolutely love, or this is my birth flower, or this is my mother's favorite flower, or you know, this, it really, to incorporate it makes it very personal. However, I don't think, I think, you know, being able to kind of make, there's no bouquet that's ever the same. So given a brief, brilliant. I mean, I design all the bouquets, so do I make them all the same? Of course not, because they can't be. And you know, a bride getting married at the beginning of July and then a bride getting married at the end of August, the flowers are not the same. So it is
seasonality is a massive part of your role, isn't it? Thinking about what's going to be available.
Huge amounts. And the thing with the seasonal flowers is it's a no-brainer, in the sense that if you choose a seasonal flower, it's going to be at its best, it's optimum, it's at the cheapest it will be all year. If you can't get it, you know, at other times, that is. And it really, I do think choosing those types of flowers and being reflective of the season, you know, and so many brides have had to change from seasons, you know, it might have only been a couple of months, but
that's so true.
Brides have moved from April to suddenly a December wedding. So we have to retweak all the flowers, and it's not a complete whole redesign, but it's enough to make sure that it's sitting, you know, it will be darker earlier. You do need different, maybe a slightly darker shade, get a burgundy in there, do something to, so we just
not so pastel pink as it could have been in the summer. Exactly. No, you're right. A lot of my couples have rescheduled to different seasons, and you know, it's a complete back to the drawing board with the flowers, you know, because as you know, it's so important about the seasonality, and more than ever, you know, at the moment with Brexit, you know, it's made the price of flowers astronomical, and so you're contending with so many factors in being a wedding florist.
It's quite something. I don't think I could have, you know, beginning of my flower journey, I don't think I could have predicted Brexit and the pandemic, and because I think the flower prices have basically adjusted by about 8% from Brexit, which, you know, and I'm, you know, I quote in advance because people are planning their weddings.
Exactly. So, as a wedding florist, you have to, don't you?
So, you know, I couldn't have predicted global events, strangely enough.
Exactly.
So, but I haven't, you know, I didn't want that to be something that the couples are already dealing with enough. So I didn't want that to be something that was being passed on to them as well. So it's making sure that, you know, we're all kind of just trying to support each other.
Exactly.
But, you know, the pandemic will hopefully, from a flower point of view, it will calm things down a little bit, because you know, the growers will grow normal amounts, you know, that they're used to doing. At the moment, there's massive fluctuations in some flower prices are really high and others are really low. There's no stability really. So I'm looking forward to that being, because it does make it very
just
hard.
Normalizing a little bit.
Because you want to be able to give the flowers that you've, you know, that, but if a grower hasn't planted enough of that particular flower, then, you know, we have
it's a limited stock.
So we're just going with go with the flow, really.
Very good. And so one thing that you mentioned earlier was your amazing team of freelancers. So talk to us a little bit about that, because I think one thing that people sometimes worry about when they're looking at a wedding florist, especially for a bigger, you know, wedding where, you know, there's going to be a high amount of florals, you know, and there's going to be moon gates and there's going to be installations and things like that, is that, you know, they look and they think, okay, so Katrina's who I'm talking to, which is brilliant and I love her style, but can she manage all of this on her own? So tell us the secret about how you actually manage to get everything done.
Oh God. Well, firstly, my 2 children keep me on my toes. I love my darlings, but they really, in terms of becoming, I was organised before, I thought, roughly. But I mean, the organisation levels have had to kind of up quite a lot. So actually, you know, it's just because of, you know, I've done events in the past, and team, you know, making sure that everything is covered that needs to be covered. That,
Yeah.
you know, when I was training, I met some fabulous florists at the time, who
Yeah.
are now my freelancers, and
Brilliant.
you know, dependent upon what the wedding is. So it depends on the size, the scale. There are, you know, florists that work within my team of, you know, one will be excellent at huge arches and, you know, be creating volume
Yeah.
and really, really
Drama.
impact. Whereas there'll be other, you know, other members of the team that are really good at the really intricate things. And, you know, so it's making sure that the right people are on the right designs, and that we all, you know, that it all works in harmony.
Yeah.
And that basically that it's been thought through. And I think that's a lot of, you know, it's such a creative thing, but actually floristry is so much about the business and the planning.
Yeah.
It's real, and people forget that, and it's just
they think
so
you're just playing with pretty flowers.
Oh, I love that bit. I love
if
that
only you were, if only that was what you were doing the whole time.
Well, I have not been doing that for a year. I've been
exactly.
It's been like this, planning, and this is the thing with every reschedule. Then there's replanning for the flowers, for the freelancers that apply to that wedding, because it's so fine-tuned.
So you've got all these freelancers, so they basically will come in and help you with the weddings that you're going to be doing, and they'll help you in making some of the arrangements, but they're working off your designs, aren't they? So you're very much still in control. You're there the whole time. You're overseeing everything they're doing. They're checking in with you. You've already bought the flowers. So they're using the stock that you've already bought for that wedding. They're not kind of you're not kind of farming it out saying, oh, could you do me a bouquet? It's, you know, very much, and it's under your, you know, under your umbrella.
Watchful eye.
Yeah, exactly. We're all scary. She's coming. But then also at installation point, you'll always be at installation, and they'll be there to support you as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally there the whole time. And the brief, the design is completely from my end, is my side, and I just need to make sure that they are completely on page for the design in question, that they are comfortable with, you know, what needs to be done in time, because the thing with flowers, obviously they've got there's a perishable side to it. Not that they're going to perish at that point, but whenever they are being used and created in a design, they are out of water for a temporary amount of time. So it has to be done in a manageable, efficient way, where everybody, it's run literally to the minute, to make sure that everything is done by a certain time. It's back in water. It's
in a chilled area, things
sustainable,
like that.
Just making them sustainable. All my flowers have a water source. If I can use sustainable methods, then, you know, we're doing that more and more and more, which is, you know, really important. And it's just, you know, they are very, very well briefed to how I expect things to be done. And we're all, you know, and we're also friends, so it's really nice that there's a respect, but there is I like spending time with them. We create the flowers in a very nice environment, because we're smiling, everyone knows what they're doing, and if there is any doubt of whatsoever, I am there within a second.
Exactly. And then nothing will leave, you know, your studio until you've seen it, you've checked it, you've made sure that it's in the perfect condition. And I think it's worth just also talking about, I can't remember when this was, it was a few years ago, but, you know, when there's some flowers and they're not quite opening up at the rate that you were hoping, you'll talk to them, won't you? You'll coax them.
Well, I try. I think I've only had one. It was just ridiculous. Like, the peonies are notorious. Like, any florist will just look at the peony. If someone says, I'd like a peony, they're so beautiful. But they're a nightmare.
They're the most stubborn flower.
They're stubborn. And if they are in bullet form and they don't want to come out, oh my God, they just won't do anything. So I had a wedding which was very peony heavy, and absolutely, I mean, it was stunning. It all worked out in the end, but oh my God, to get those peonies open, I banged them and I swirled them. I gave them like any tip that I know about, you know,
had them next to the tumble dryer.
A little bit of boiling water. I mean, anything, and they were just like this. It just wouldn't move. And in the end, I was getting, you know, I was right. Okay, I'm going to try the banana trick. So I did the banana trick, wrapped them in cellophane with bananas, and in the morning,
boom! Wow. Boom. So there you go. There's the answer. Bananas are the answer.
For everything.
Brilliant. So before I let you go, just talk to us a little bit about your availability. So this summer's completely bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not really taking any more bookings this year.
I think it's quite limited.
Yeah.
I think, you know, there are some people that are still trying to move their weddings into this summer because it's looking more optimistic.
Yeah.
The roadmap is looking like it's on track.
Yeah.
I think most people have moved to the summer that is coming. So there, I mean, there's pockets. We're not too bad in November and December, but up until then, it's quite, I mean,
pretty stacked up.
Do ask.
Yeah, inquire and you'll see what you can do. Yeah.
But at the moment it is pretty chocker. And next year is very busy too. But again, it's definitely worth just asking, you know, asking the question.
Yeah.
And not be, you know, just because everyone's heard that this is going to be a crazy summer. It's definitely not a reason not to check.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I would say book your suppliers. You know, if you want to get a wedding planner or you want to, you know, secure somebody.
Yeah, you need to be booking ASAP.
I think a lot of people that didn't realise the urgency on it are now starting to, which so
absolutely.
it's definitely worth getting it sorted.
And good luck to those who have. That's when I usually get a phone call and I'm like, right, excellent, let's find a makeup artist for mid-August on a Saturday.
But it will. But the thing is, it will all come together.
It does come together.
And actually,
it always does.
People that get you at that point, I mean, they are, well, they're lucky they've got you, because then you are literally on it. I
am.
I would. I'd be. I can handle my flower well. That is my thing. But I'm not sure. Yeah.
The rest of it, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you so much for your time today, Katrina. You are fabulous as always. If anybody wants to get in touch with you and to inquire about your availability, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
We can go on, well, we've got the website, so you do the contact form on there or on Instagram. You know, we're on all socials, so at any point, just, you know, any questions, any queries, anything, then obviously, you know, we'd love to help. So yeah.
Brilliant. Fabulous. Okay, look, thank you so much. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you to the builders for staying quiet.
Well, actually, they were.
I did hear the drill at one point, but I could still hear you.
They're pushing the roof up, so, you know, I think we've done all right. I
think we've done very well. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have a lovely Easter. We usually see each other at Easter, so I will miss you.
I know. Well, and you love Easter.
I do.
Love Easter.
Not as much as you, though. Okay. Love you lots and speak soon. Thank you to everyone that joined us.
Thank
Have a great
you so
day.
much, everyone. Bye.
Bye.